Isto tako slično se skreće.
Dobar dan.
Dobar dan.
Ako vidim da već ima 10-ak polaznika, ja sam spreman.
Hoćemo im dati još 3 minute, možda.
Ne, apsolutno. Vi ćete reći, a ja mogu zamoliti one koji su tu, ako im nije problem, da pogledaju u chat. Chatom ćemo komunicirati, mogu postavljati pitanja i mogu ispuniti kratki upitnik da vidimo kakvi su.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, I see some people I know. Hello, Brigitta. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, Vjeran.
And please, if anyone, while we are waiting, if you can fill the form I have put in chat just to understand who you are. No personal data, just are you in education or student, or do you have experience? So 3 simple questions like that. And thank you, Anna, for having camera. It's much easier for me to talk to someone.
Vjeran, there's nothing in the chat.
Yes, it is. It's
Trebali biste ponovno objaviti. Mislim da...
okay, no problem. I can
It
chat.
is now.
Yeah, chat is constantly updating. Very good. I have 40% of none of the above. So it's neither educators, developers, or students, which is very good. Only one so far. No advanced users. Notice. Okay, that's great info. So Monica, you are
Yes.
you are time control organizer, so please you decide when we will start. Do you I'm sorry, do you see the slides? The screen
We
with
do
the
see the slides. It would be good because a few other new people joined, like maybe a dozen, if you can just repeat the survey so they can also participate in it.
Okay. I have it on the first slide, but for you who just joined, it will be beneficiary to me to understand to who am I dealing with. I only know Brigitta from my previous life, and I see Anna, and the rest is complete unknown. So I just ask 3 questions. In which category do you belong? How experienced you are, and do you work with AI for business or pleasure? I will just take a peek, and Monica will tell me.
So first of all, I just want to say good afternoon to everyone and welcome to today's webinar. We are very delighted that you decided to join us. As Vjeran said, my name is Monica and I will be your moderator. And before we begin, I just wanted to tell you a quick things. So firstly, the webinar will last approximately 60 minutes. There will be a 45-minute lecture, and after that, we're going to have a 15-minute questions and answer session. Please keep your microphones muted, and if you have any questions, we kindly ask you to put them in the chat, and we will read them out once it's time for the question and answer session. Also, if anyone will want to re-listen to this webinar, we will be putting it up on our YouTube channel, Profil Klett YouTube channel. And at the end of the session, I will put a survey we kindly ask you to fill it out. Also, for any educators that want to receive a certificate of attendance, can just fill out the last question to put their email in so we can send out the certificates. So those were all the technical stuff I wanted to say. And now we will have the privilege of hearing from Dr. Vjeran Bušelić. He's an associate professor at the Zagreb University of Applied Sciences and Faculty of Organization and Informatics. He is an author as well of his new book called In Search for Knowledge, Reskilling for Generative AI from the First Principle. Dr. Bušelić is a distinguished expert in digital transformation, artificial intelligence. Therefore, he's gonna talk today about how to ask, learn, and innovate with AI. So without further ado, I will hand it over to our speaker, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Profil Klett for giving me opportunity to talk to a lot of, I saw a lot of people from educational field. Half of them are using this tool for business, and no one is really, just one is a real expert, and few are very good in have some skills. I'm sorry to hear that, because this course and this book I wrote should be a prerequisite. So we will go to 45 minutes of what we should know about generative AI and ourselves in order to maintain our quest for knowledge, if we do have some. But since most of us are knowledge workers, I mean, we are learning something, reading, redelivering, it's our daily job. So I just remind you, this is the part of my book. This, what is in next 1 hour, is my personal opinion, and it's my knowledge and experience. And I was working for 40 years and 30 in IT industry, and 10 and still teaching at universities. So I really don't care how do I got this. But whatever I said, I stand by my reputation. So if you have any questions, any things you would like to know, it's my opinion, and it's really a big point for all educators and ourselves. Did I use generative AI preparing my lectures or book? Certainly. I was using it. It's a new and fantastic tool. So I see nothing bad in that. But at the end, it's and this picture is also drawn by artificial intelligence, but it's my idea, and I ask him to warn you that education and learning and knowledge part of the time is going to shift. It's shifting. And I started my workshops, and I provoked to write a book about generative AI with this very important article in Harvard Business Review, very distinguished magazine. Have an online session. So it's not should engineers should study philosophy. The author asked why. So I don't know. Do you agree? What do you think? I will try to provoke you with questions. You can answer, you can type in, no matter what Monica said. I'm sorry, Monica, but we will not, I will try to keep track on time. So let me explain what is inside of this article. The author said, if anything generative AI can do, it could code. I mean, it's large language model and Java and all the other Python, all of these are programming languages. But there is a but. It could be semantically correct, but sometimes not functional. It could work well, but not what you would like to do. So he said that you have to have a crisp mental model around the problem. You have to first understand the problem, break it down into traceable steps, so you understand how to resolve, and debate the stubborn AI. And these are the skills not only for programmers and engineers, but for every one of us. I hope you understand this very profound implication in our jobs. And that's why I wrote the book. And I'm not selling it around, but it's common when you have anything innovative. People say that, can't you see I have a battle to fight? I'm working. I don't have time to read your book. It's a book. So I'm glad that you devoted 60 minutes of your time and I will try to understand, I will try to explain what and how I see this paradigm shift ahead. The idea is the solution is that large language model, these are the quotes from the book, from the article. LLM adapts to the level of your knowledge, learning from your prompts, learning what are you asking. If you ask some easy questions, he understands you are the novice in this field. If you ask, I'm sorry, deep, profound questions, then you are an expert. So it's an interplay between you and AI, and you are becoming also an author of your own learning by asking what you don't know and telling what do you know. It's a different from our current educational systems where everyone is looking at the same video, my video. So it's really not adapted to your needs. So if using mathematics, he used the mathematics as an example, you try to find the book where the topic is, but the book doesn't know anything about your knowledge, and the generative AI knows. That's the difference. So personalization will come, and Jack Ma, Alibaba founder, very long, 5 years ago, when he was still present in society, he said we should change our education, and it will be really equal opportunities. So I hope I explained to you why, but what kind, which philosophers they should start. We should start probably, and we should really start from the beginning. And you all, I'm sure you will remember Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle. and Plato cave, Aristotle's dialogue. He came out of the cave to talk to people, and Aristotle, he trained Alexander Macedonian to conquer the world with the knowledge, not only with the sword. So it's from the cave to the world, three important philosophers. And this is it. I'm sorry, this is still in Croatian, but most of you understand. So concept and principles, this is Plato. Understanding and dialogue, understanding of a topic and a dialogue as a method, and application and work from Aristotle. So it's basically in our philosophy, this what we like to do. And I would like to make just a simple distraction. When I was a kid, I was reading a lot about perpetuum mobile machines. They don't work because of friction. You need to put outside energy in order to get. And the New Yorker explained, this is the outside energy. You gave it to generative AI, and generative AI will put it to you. And when we were still in socialism, we used to say we build the road and the road is building us. And that's the principle. By learning from AI and explaining to him what would you like, you learn for yourself as well. This is, but you have to put in the effort. There is no perpetuum mobile, as we know. So my promise in this 45 to 60 minutes is I will try to make you understand generative AI as a personal tutor. I think it could really it is a personal tutor towards any kind of knowledge you are going to or looking for. And I like to be interactive as much, and I would like you to ask as many questions, but it's 30 of you, so maybe we will do what Monica says. Maybe but you can type in the chat box any question you may have, but not any questions. I will not tell you how to do something. I will tell you why something like I see. So it's a principle talk. So we are talking about principles. We are not talking about how something works and what is the best practice. By doing that, by starting, we should always start from the middle. We should always start with why. The why is the purpose, the reason. Why are we doing? And I obviously started with why and try to explain to you that I see the ability for personal tutoring through generative AI are now unimaginable. How it will change the education system, I will not go into that. I was not a part. I was 30 years in business, and now where I am, I feel like a kind of a stranger because I just came from the industry and I'm using a lot of knowledge, practical knowledge, not theoretical, and I don't understand why these systems are so slow. So I will not go there. What is a question you can always find in Wikipedia or Google. What is something? So it's not very complex. How? You go to YouTube. How to change, I don't know, the bathroom mirror. Go to YouTube, you will see some random Indian dude explaining, bring this, that. So it's no-brainer, I would say. But why? Would you ask generative AI why questions? Surprisingly, no. Why not? I don't know if you are polite or not, but large language models don't understand anything. Especially they don't understand the purpose or the reason of any phenomena we are talking about. So we should not ask why questions at all. Maybe not true. I learned a lot from the best from industry, so I would advise you to learn from Toyota, the best car manufacturer, the best company, culture with productive culture and systems. And do you know one of their secrets is not to ask 1, 2, 3, but 5 whys in a row. So this is what they call, or we call, root cause analysis. So you have to constantly peel out the layers of some problem, not blaming the problem, the person, the company, but trying to figure out what went wrong, but in deep. I just this is a example. I played with a ChatGPT. So if you are as a teacher, you ask the student why you forgot the homework, but only after several questions you can understand it's not his he didn't understand, or you are the lousy teacher, but he doesn't have organizational I would say abilities, so he didn't he should spend some more time organizing and preparing for the work, not mentally. He's not, I would say, mentally challenged. So that's something you should find the real course, not just you forgot to write your homework, I will give you some bad marks. These 5 questions looks like aha. How Socrates, who knows nothing, how he can teach us? He is a master of learning method, not the knowledge. So he is not giving any answer, but he's constantly checking the students for logics and content. And these dialogues often finish with students, aha, I know. You don't know, he would say, but that's how we learn if you use Socrates' methods. And I think I hope most of you educators are familiar in using this to bring out the knowledge from the students, pupils, children, because they know a lot. It's not true. So this questioning is a tool not for Socrates. Robert Reich was Clinton Secretary of Labor, And they had the similar, like Margaret Thatcher in Great Britain. It's that time when they said some occupations will become obsolete, like miners, like heavy works. So people should be more educated and transfer to learning. And one guy who graduated at MIT and mastered at Stanford in physics and philosophy, he said there is no point in learning answers. We should learn to ask questions. Wow. And that's a great idea. And he founded a company offering a precision questioning methodology. And he was asked to do this for Microsoft when I was working, and I was introduced to this methodology, which is basically simple, and I will not go into it. I'm sorry. It's 7 steps. First one, you should ask yourself, go or no go. Are we ready for this? And my question is, no, we are not ready. My answer is, no, we are not ready for this. We would need at least half a day or 1 day to go through this methodology. I was on a training for 2 days, so it's not for 15 minutes, but it is a method of when you are ready, you clarify the terms, you challenge all the assumptions, what Socrates did, and then you ask the question, and then you start who caused this and what would be effect. Something different than we usually do. So it's a great tool. So I think the questions as a methodology and dialogue, Socrates will also give you the purpose and the reason. But let's, what I will try to do in next 30 minutes or so is to give you the how part. It's a very tough job, but I'm the almost Batman, I was. And it's not so difficult to understand generative AI. You have some architecture, you have the transformer, you have production systems, you have algorithms, you have application architecture. You have to be a master of engineering and spend years to understand this. So it's not easy at all, but I will do it. I will do it so I will go back to Plato Cave, not to check the reality. I explained, I showed to you how reality looks like. It's not readable, it's not understandable. But on a concept side, we need to understand. We don't need to know. This is not attributed right to him, but it's not important for this point. I think you can understand it in 30 minutes. So basically, ChatGPT, this is from my student slide 2 years ago, so it's still number 3, third generation of pre-trained transformer, generative a language model, neural network machine learning model, trained using internet data to generate any type of text. It's a simple model. So you can look at like this, not with this complex pictures. Do you know how to work with models? Generating next model. It's a model review. You just have your clothes and then put the models and decide which one goes first, second, third, and basically this is it. Because LLM is next word prediction engine. It's nothing else. It doesn't understand anything. You think it understands, but it's true it's not. So that's it. Quite shocking, and contrary to previous slides. But there is a chat part for ethical security, and we will not talk about this, especially this is very important, but there is no ethics in LLM. There is no security in LLM. And there is even not math there. So if you ask him what is 2 + 2, he will say 4 because it's 4 in all the data around the world, 99%. But if you ask him some random numbers, he will immediately answer this. But because chat will write a Python code and calculate, he will not even ask LLM. So that's some. I'm exaggerating, but not here. In order for you to understand, he's just next word generator. How? With probability. So it's a lot of word tokens, but we don't need to be correct. And each of them is have a probability because of proximity in all the data in which was read. And so it's very easy that the boy went to playground, probably. And there are different models with different specialization, capabilities, and they're larger and larger, and now there are some smaller Chinese ones. So it's complete a busy world, but essentially it's next word guessing. And this is model, and here you can see ChatGPT 4, Llama, any other. Here you have a product, the chat part, and you asking the chat part, and this is generative possibilities. We only will talk about how to generate text and get text. We are not interested in other parts. But so ChatGPT is interface to large language model, and we need to understand this as architecture. And this is a slide again to tell you large language model, 100 billion of parameters, ability to generate text, and different chat engine. ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot are two different communication interfaces to the same GPT language model. So this is also easy to understand. It has content filters. So if you ask how to kill a husband, LLM has million of documents explaining how to kill a husband, but chat will say, I'm sorry, I can't give you that answer. And he will never ask LLM, this question is forbidden, it's not appropriate. And we will not talk at all of any tools which are built in the same way, built on chat or directly on the LLM, because everything is programmable. So we will not go this way. And I will just say that these are the tools for accelerating businesses. But it should be the field of and LLM knows, with easy recognizable results, simple tasks, writing emails, something he is good at, easy decision making, not complicated. But McKinsey says it could automate it up to 30% of working time right now in last year. And today, all the big companies are implementing, using, and almost 70% of these fields are already starting to be, I would say, people replace or feared or heavy used for easy tasks. So this is just something we will not talk about. I have my students, and we often talk about the future of work and how generative AI will do it. We will go to knowledge for something you know, or don't know, or you think you know, or we don't know that even you know. So whatever you want to find out, you can go. And the idea is, the premise is that you don't know the answer, but you have to know a lot about how you will accept an answer. So this is, and this goes through iteration and dialogue. So it's very, very simple. And I wrote a book which says it's reskilling from the first principle. We know a lot of those things, but not in that magnitude, or not all of them. So we should repractice some of those. And this is what my session is about. So let's go. One of my favorite statisticians, distinguished one from Britain, he said, all models are wrong, but some are useful. I mean, of course, all models are wrong because they're approximation of the real world, but how they can be useful if they are wrong? That's, see, some of them are useful. I mean, the weather report with all these signs, it's simple. You see where there is clouds and the wind and here and there. So it's useful for your tomorrow's decisions how to wear. But he said, since all of them are wrong, you should alert to what is importantly wrong. So you should concentrate on tigers of a model, not the mices and all these small things. So he said we should generalize. So you should become a tiger spotting expert. Can you find a tiger? It's a Waldo, but with a tiger inside. So here is the tiger. So you should, and this is Plato telling us this. And it's easy, and we learn this modeling and tigers in elementary school. This is the planet of our solar system. I think you all know this. And what's wrong with it? Is there anything wrong? It is very wrong. But the first question is, why are we showing this? What is the purpose of this model? If the purpose is to see the relative size and the position, this model is perfect. But if you want to see the distance, this model is wrong. Is now better? Do we change the model? Do we? No. We build another model. This is one. here you can see, if you're interested in distances, here is a model. You can see how far the planets are, and the distance is huge. So which one is the model? Which one is right? There is no the model, and neither model is right. They are all wrong, but useful for different purposes. So the purpose controls the model we should build. So it's not the way around. And one guy became very rich. Charlie Munger is a sidekick of Warren Buffett, the guy who knows who earns most money on buying and selling stocks, on investment. And he said, I use a lot of models all at once to lower uncertainty. So I will just teach you one. I hope you will be satisfied, and I really need one marriage or divorce a person to tell me how do you have a successful marriage, and if you don't know, I will teach you in 3 minutes, in 2 minutes, in 1 minute. Do you think it's feasible? Does anyone want to give me a shot to explain how to have successful marriage? I hope that you know how to make it, but it's not easy. But what if I ask you to invert how to ruin the marriage, and just don't do this? This is a model called inversion. You just invert the very difficult problem with a simple one, and then not do this. It's not a recipe for having a great marriage, but if you do any of these, you will not have a good. So simplification by inversion. Are you impressed that 8 out of 10 God commands are invert? You shall not, don't steal, don't this, don't that. The only two are cherish Sabbath and cherish your father and mother. But the other ones are all in invert sense, because they explicitly tell you what you should not do in order to have a good marriage, in order to be a good person. It's easier to be, and it's fun too. So I assume all the dragons are warming the soups. So I'll go, and we are a little late already. I hope you will don't mind. My stretch goal is to understand and give you some practice. Reduce ignorance, not to do some things, and encourage you to work. And if you are here and you are talking to large language model or some software, and you give prompt, first you should understand how you do and master it. Then LLM and prompt engineering and software, it's only on the third level. So we can always influence ourselves and change. Can we influence LLM? Of course, it's programmable. They are adjustable parameters, and some of you know, and we must understand its limitations and possibilities, and only then talk and learn how to talk with them. So probability distribution, we were saying you can adjust it. There are temperature and top P parameters, how you can adjust whether you have deterministic or whether you have free form. And you do this by explaining to the LLM through context buffer. And if you said, in this conversation, I would like to prioritize precision, deterministic, and focus because this is what I need, he will behave like this. And this is the same if you are programmably coming to LLM, if you said these parameters like that. So you have a context buffer in order to explain the LLM how you would need him to tell. In a normal world, it's the context from the sentence, but the previous knowledge. I will give you some demo. Do you know who is the best football player in the world? It was asked just with the name ChatGPT, but the question is, my friend lives in Zagreb, who is the best football player? It's Luka Modric. So he got the context from Zagreb and changed his words. It's tragic. Claude says someone different, but also Luka Modric. And Gemini, it's Messi and Messi. So it's different LLMs. Some of them are confused, or with this simple sentence, which has nothing to do with the best player. My friend lives in Zagreb, so I'm from Budapest, and LLM defines a different context. So this is the power of context if you need to set appropriately. So this is not acceptable. I mean, and this is true. So who are those 4 people who torn down the Berlin Wall? Are they heroes or innocent bystanders? I mean, we all know the context of falling down the Berlin Wall. So it's really inappropriate to say this 4 people liberated the Western Germany. There is a context and buffer settings, and there is a memory. I'm sorry, I'm going a little, I'm not explaining because I'm trying you to understand. You will look further, or some of you already know one or some of these things, but it's important. There is a memory, I would say, size, and the memory is what he understood about my writing with him. So I was obviously writing my book at that time, so he remembered. And this is the context. This context and this context is my friend lives in Zagreb. And there is a capacity, and there is a price you have to pay, and you need to work around. But there is a way. But why are we just like that? Because it's very complex. And we learn and understand complex things by analogy. Because we build on current knowledge. I'm sorry, I have this in English. I forgot to delete. Because you can explain people in education, the computer is like a library with some RAM and hard disk, like books on a shelf, and the index card, library card, and this. So this is but the world. What do you think of the Earth? Is this Earth? Probably. And if we think, some of you think like this, some of you with countries, not only continents, some of you remember the Earth from Mercator projection. So it's through mental models. So we are here, and you already understand that there are different mental models of Earth because of different purposes. The rounded, the countries, the continents, so different models. And this is, we never learn from the real world. We rarely learn. We learn everything from models. This is education, and this is easier, but we need to pick the right tigers and construct our world according to the purpose we need. That's the point. So if we have a goal, my goal was to write a book, and I was using ChatGPT. How many unknowns we have? 3. It's us, and we need to educate us. We need to understand the ChatGPT, we need to understand our goal, and us. And we should be on the same page, not that each of us has the different model. So that's the idea. And if you have been on some business meeting, you are often thinking of a hierarchy of these people. Who was the boss? And there was 3 different organizations and some people around. So, and then you learn that you ask people from which model those people are. So this is how models are constantly updated. And Charlie doesn't use one model. He uses 1,000 of models, but not to gain understanding, but to lower uncertainty. Whether I should buy a company, he check the value of company by applying all kind of different business models to better understand. And this is his decision investment models. So I'm not telling you something which is not true. And there is a guy, I hope you all know about him, especially now. He said, I only believe in physics, else's recommendation. It needs either money or pressure to do something, to organize people, to do something, to pay people, to organize, unless it's not possible by physics, it's doable. This is a strange mindset, but this is invert model of Elon Musk. But this is how he creates retracting rocket. He said, what was the first principle? What are the elements of a cost of a spaceship? And he understands it's the basic rocket. And then he said, okay, can we put it back? It's difficult, but physics allows us. Just do it. So this is some models and approaches in real life. So this is a very important. So this is how I approach this generative AI, and this is
Professor, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we're approaching the end of our time, and if we want to have some discussion, maybe we should start the Q&A. Maybe give your final thoughts or something.
I can't.
You can?
No, because I have to finish. I'm sorry. It's just a couple of more minutes. So the problem of LLM, it has no logical reasoning. It has associative system of similarity and association and probability. It doesn't have any logic, any rule-based system. This is what is known in an Kahneman theory, and I will not talk about. But he is good in connecting people, but he can't logically connect. So you have to do this by asking better questions. And yes, we can recap. It's a language model, so we have to be careful about wording with clarity and understanding. There is no logic but associative. So very sensitive, but you have to adjust probability parameters for creativity, coherence, diversity. You should set the context, but it's very, very tricky if you it's limited. And if this is easy, it's not easy. This is the best professor teaching AI, Ethan Mollick. And he said, you need 10 hours of AI use time to understand and try and work, and it will help you in the area which is appropriate at your job. So even the bottom participants can really learn a lot, improve 40%, and the smart ones can also improve, but you need to play and work and write. So this is maybe a moment I can stop and ask for feedback or questions from your side.
If anyone has any questions, you can just write in the chat.
If you don't, I can give you 5 more minutes to give you some recommendations, because I do have some, and still ask. So it's not only about questions, it's the answers. And basic critical question principle is you don't ask anyone, what is this? You ask, how do you know the answer is true? So you have to be information literate people, and there are some trainings you can learn how to understand, is this a lie, is this false, is this just misinformation or not very good information. And there are a lot of prompt engineering lists. but they are simply as good as a shopping list. The shopping list you got from your spouse is something you use in order not to think, not to forget. The idea of talking with generative AI is to think and construct your own list. And even Eisenhower said plans are useless, but preparing the plans, planning is priceless. Because in a war, everything often goes off the plan. But since you were planning, you understand some much more than if you just have a list. So that's this dialogue. First, you have to define goal, understand the problem, build a model, and you can use ChatGPT to build a model. So please explain me how it works, what is most important things, what is this. Then context, what do you want? Be precise, be creative, be this and this. And then understand all the terms, all the assumptions, and then check the answers. If you can, you use not only ChatGPT, you use Google, you use experts, no, whatever, and check ChatGPT. Do you agree with me? Are you still with me? Do we have our understanding of what is our task, what is a goal, and you can play with him. And thank you for having me. I'm sorry I overran the question, but I did have a slide. So I suppose you will not ask. Anna Golubic asked me how to prepare when you work in education with young people. This is more or less, this is how to prepare. What kind of preparation do you need? Can you talk, Anna? Can we discuss?
We will now let Anna use the
Hello.
microphone.
Yes.
Hello, I'm here. For every day in class.
I'm sorry. I will act like ChatGPT.
For every day in school.
No, yeah, I understand, but you have to be very precise. You have to different terms, and then you have to give some explanation and ask, why would you need to use AI? Let's start with why.
I don't know. The young people are very smart, and they use all the time technology, and they have a lots of information. So how do you know if they thinking with your head or they have information from AE?
But your job, our job, is not to make them think with our head, but with their own head. So you should work with them and use AI to show them in which cases AI can give them good results, good answers, and in which not, and to train, to learn, to educate them not to trust unless they don't understand and unless they don't specify, like what I explained. I mean, this is just 1 hour, everything all at once, like a movie. And I try to explain to all those of you who already are using, did you miss something? So basically, it's different for each child, for each person. I'm a mathematician, and I'm good at principles, and I think I demonstrated that, and this is why I really fast understand how chat works. But I have problem with tasks, with the explanations. So I understand if you ask 5 questions, a student something will follow up. But I ask ChatGPT to give me illustration of that. So I'm using it for this. I'm using it for summary. Can you give me who are the bad and the good guys in Brother Karamazov, and what is the point? And then you discuss. I don't know at which level you want. So you use them how to use it, and it's the similar like you use for yourself. You do just this and reiterate. And there is no silver bullet. That's the real. We need to understand how we can use it.
So we always ask why.
No, I always ask why, and because there has to be some reasons, and then you ask how. How do you do this? But you ask him to understand the situation. Give him some document or well-known method or something, and ask him, what do you think this is most important? I was discussing with him a global warming, and from the first principle thinking, and he said the greenhouse effect has almost 2/3 of or even 70% of all issues are a greenhouse effect. And I was all of a sudden thinking of these tigers and said, if greenhouse effect is 70%, we are just if we are not covering this, we are basically not doing other things effectively. And this was the parameter I didn't know prior to discussing with him. I give ChatGPT for students to debate. Give me good reasons why this and bad reasons why this. Lastly, I was discussing with them, should students of information technology work or just study? So what would you say? And what would he say? And you have to interact. You have to, so you teach them there are different perspectives, different possibilities. And according to world knowledge, literature, it's something you really need, like Ethan Mollick says, you need to invest at least 10 hours to play by yourself. But use it for something which really makes the difference for them. You can ask him. That's the beauty of this perpetuum mobile. And say, no, I don't have students like that. And he will give you some examples, and you can develop some scenarios, specific ones.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, there is no easy answers.
I understand.
Yeah, I hope. Thank you for openly saying that, asking. I mean, you probably knew what I was going to tell you, because it would take us some time to sit together and develop if you think I'm the one or ChatGPT is the one. You understand?
Yes.
But the tigers should always be involved. You should always check for the most important things, not any other. I'm sorry if I didn't ask. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any discussions, any examples you want to share with people? Because
I have one question.
yes,
I'm sorry, my connection was not so good all the
no
time
problem.
since I'm using my cell phone for listening this webinar. But have you tried DeepSeek as a tool?
Yes, it's the same.
It's the same. Do you see any difference? Do you see any difference in, I don't know, user experience, answering the questions, setting up the prompts, and anything? Well,
no,
a bit different. I personally tried it, and it seems to me I'm still, I don't know, somehow biased to the ChatGPT. Maybe it's just my opinion, but I would like to hear yours.
We are not biased. I'm also biased to ChatGPT because I spend most of time working with him. So I understand his, and these are example, but all of these principles are the similar or the same. You had to set the context. It's very important. You have to use a very good wording. You don't, when you get the answer, you ask for list me, write me, can we call this, and I need to, can you elaborate, can you explain point 1, 2, 3? I mean, you start Socrates dialogue with him, and you just don't allow him not to do what you want. That's the same with DeepSeek or Microsoft Copilot, and I'm still using. I helped. He helped me to write the book, and I'm still using free version. I just don't spend hours a day, but I very specifically explain the context. And I didn't try this with DeepSeek, I'm sorry to say. I think...
Thank you.
No, I think now it's the time to try to better understand how any of these LLMs or chats can help us. For what is our problem, what we need to know, and I'm not the expert on and if you will stand by the end, there is really not much about LLMs. It's mostly about you, about us, how we should exchange, adopt our knowledge, how we should start thinking more critically, because we have to, because he would say anything. It's the next word.
Are there any other questions from anyone? Okay, then I think we can conclude the discussion. Thank you very much, Professor Bušelić, for giving us the knowledge into ChatGPT and other LLM languages. It was really a pleasure. I hope every one of you also learned something new. And I just want to remind you all to fill out the survey that I just sent in chat. If you, of course, want to get your certificate of attendance, just please make sure to fill it out. Thank you.
Then thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Anna.
And one nice goodbye from Varaždin.
I was today at Varaždin.
Yes.
Yeah, at FOI.
Yes. Because of that, I say from Varaždin. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you. Okay, Monica, I will leave now and we can hear each other
Sure.
after
Talk
you
to you
finish.
soon.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.